Hi everybody, it's Chris Byberg, the director of the National House of Prayer, coming to you today from Ottawa. Well, it's been a very, very busy week for us. On Monday, we were in the House just about the whole day to listen to that NDP motion on Canada recognizing Palestine as a state. We were there listening to the debates for the most of the day, and then into the evening, just before the vote was about to take place at 7:10. The vote was scheduled at 7:15. The Liberals presented 14 amendments to the motion, completely changing it. Still not great for Israel, but better than what was proposed by the NDP by far. They didn't recognize Palestine as a state, which is very, very important, because why would you recognize a terrorist government? And so thank goodness for wisdom there. So 3 Liberal members didn't vote with the government. It was Anthony Housefather, Marco Mendicino, and Ben Carr. We're writing them letters to say thank you. This would be a good idea to write letters. You know, when your members of parliament do good things that are good, it is important that you say thank you and write to them and say that you have done great things. We do this all the time, and we find that doors open up amazingly for us. So we've seen this with our team members and other canopy people. They do this and say thank you, you've done a great job, and then they get feedback, positive feedback. I encourage you to do that. The second thing I want to talk to you about is Bill 367. We've been hearing rumblings. Some of you have written me about that. What about this bill? So I want to bring you up to speed with that. That particular bill is presented by it's not quite a bill there. It's not even there yet. It's from the Bloc. It's from Yves Francois Blanchet. If it's coming from the Bloc, I'm always very suspect because it seems that they have a real dislike for Christians and Jews and Muslims. To anything religion, they seem to want to squash it, not realizing they have their very own religion. That's humanism. That's their religion, and they're fanatical about their humanist religion. So anyway, where that bill stands, C-367, you have to realize it's a private member's bill. So private members' bill, for the most part, never usually become law. Very rarely. Sometimes they do, but very rarely they become law. And not only that, so this bill has been tabled, but in order for it to move forward, it needs to win the lottery so that they would even discuss it. So they're not even at the lottery stage yet. It hasn't won a lottery. It hasn't done anything. It's just been tabled. So the fact that it's there, yes, pray, but am I going to lose sleep on this? No, I'm not, because we're not even there yet. So you might see a lot of editorial on this, and yes, it's there, but it doesn't surprise me when it comes from the Bloc. I mean, my goodness, my very first day that we were able to sit in the House as directors of National House of Prayer, Blanchet brought in asking for a motion to stop prayer in the House of Commons. So it doesn't surprise me. So where we are on that, we're not there yet. And if we get there, we'll let you know. But I don't think we're going to get there. It's so far down on the docket. It's 367. It's way, way, way down there. But we'll keep you informed. The next bill I want to talk to you about is Bill C-63. And you know this is the internet porn bill, child protection bill. You know, when you look at it at a glance, it looks really quite good. But again, with the vagueness of liberal legislation, I just don't understand these guys. It's so vague, and it talks about hate, which makes it doesn't define hate, and it makes it very, very broad. So our freedoms could be at stake. But nevertheless, there are still lots of things that we need to be praying into, and there are lots of tools in the toolbox. So it's still at first reading. They're still going to be going to committee and discussing. We'll be tracking and praying with that. Should it get voted on and win that, then it'll go to the Senate. But we're still praying. We're praying that they'll make the appropriate changes that they need to make in that. That's how we pray. Pray that they have wisdom. Pray that when wisdom presents itself, they'll actually step right into it. So, and again, I want to say this again about MAID. I've been saying this. We pressed in for MAID. We were consistent on MAID. And at the very last minute, we saw a shift. We saw them feel the weight of life, and then punt it down the road for 3 more years so they could discuss, which is awesome. Same thing has to do with that motion with the NDP. We stayed in the House, we prayed, we pressed in, you pressed in, and we saw some changes. Not the biggest changes. Still, the bill is not great for Israel, but it's way better than what the NDP proposed. It's very much along the lines as our foreign policy on Israel. It didn't move away too far from that, but it's still not great. So anyway, I thought I'd bring you up to date. I'm Chris Byberg, the director of the National House of Prayer, and we will see you